Welcome to Community News Media and with another episode of Pickleball, the fastest growing sport in the nation. And today I'd like to welcome our guests, Efrain Monzon, am I saying that
That is
correctly?
correct, yeah.
With Pickleball Club of Miami, and of course Lily Azel, the ambassador of pickleball for South Dade. So thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
And Efrain, tell us what Pickleball Club of Miami is.
Pickleball Club of Miami is an organization that was just kind of built by three best friends or childhood best friends. My business partners, Jesus Rodriguez, who couldn't join us today, and Jose Rodriguez. Something we got into. We played sports our whole lives and found a way we were getting closer to empty nesting. And we started playing pickleball like 9 months ago. And we found that our competitive spirit did not die. It's rejuvenated with this pickleball. And we figured out, okay, there's always a lack of tournaments or lack of leagues. And we come from the softball leagues, baseball leagues, flag football leagues. And we said, well, it's our next phase in life since we're not as agile as we used to be in our 20s. So we came up with pickleball and we decided to incorporate it and came up with Pickleball Club of Miami. And we're excited to announce our next coming up events.
So is this a club where you have members and you play all over? Like how did, first tell me how you and Lily coordinated. I heard a little bit.
So Lily and I have a great story, right?
Yeah,
Lily?
I want to hear
really
this.
do.
So when my business partners and I were talking about creating a corporation, we went to our attorney and we filed a name, and we started to go through that process. And we incorporated, we have a corporation established, social media page established. And one social media page requested me as a friend. And I'm like, I can't, that's my name. And I haven't requested myself.
Right.
So then I go to tap on it and it's Lily's page. That had like,
Miami Pickleball Club.
right, Miami Pickleball Club. And it had like 1,500 members or something around that
And there's
lines.
another 1,000 following.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I called my partners right away and I said, we need to figure this out. So we
Right.
called our attorney and we said, hey, did you not look into it? He goes, I did. I followed all the protocols. You guys are set. You're legal. Way to go. I said, well, this doesn't look right. So we spoke to a trademark attorney as we were going to go through that process anyway for
Right.
merchandising and not. Happens to be a friend of Lily's. Kept on connecting each other again, right? So the universe kept on bringing us together. And he said, look, have a conversation with her. She's great to talk to. I'm sure you guys will figure it out. I unfortunately can't get involved in this one. So I told Jesus, I said, let's call Lily and let's see what it's about. And if
Right.
if we own this, we'll exercise it. But I think the conversation will dictate that. We ended the conversation. Lily says, there is no way we're going to push ourselves onto this. She's such a nice lady. She was very helpful. Let's just take the loss economically, right?
Right.
We'll change the name and we'll find a way to work with Lily. And she's been nothing but instrumental, supportive.
Yes.
Our names are kind of similar, but I think our vision is the same. So we
know.
said, it's okay, we can both live with it, right? We're not going to infringe. And I think that anything that Pickleball Club of Miami is going to do, they're going to involve their half brother or sister, Miami Pickleball Club.
Wait, so you're Pickleball Club of Miami
Right.
and you're Miami Pickleball.
Miami Pickleball Club. And interestingly enough,
All right.
Miami Pickleball Club came about because initially one of the former members, Salvation Army, said we need to all get together and talk.
right.
And then the thought for me was always we're going to trademark it or incorporate it so that we can do what Delray Beach Pickleball Club does, which is do fundraisers to
Right.
benefit charities in the community. So that's how it started. Obviously, I've been overrun. I've never paid attention to that part of it because advocating for courts is my number one
Right, of
job
course.
right now. So
I think
And that's
Lily's
a
been
full-time-
way too busy
Oh my
making
God.
pickleball famous in Miami.
Yes,
She didn't have time
she's-
to do the little work that we
Yeah.
did. So that's okay. We're going to be her partner in this. We'll figure this out together.
Thank you. We're
Well,
very excited.
We're all inclusive. That's
Yes.
what pickleball is all about.
That's right.
We love the game. I play 3-4 days a week, and this is just such a treat, especially
really is.
having you here today.
For us, it's been my wife and I. We have a 20-year-old son who lives away, plays college baseball. Our daughter is in sports as well. We had to find something to do. We were married 26 years, and we said, let's find something to do together as we know we're getting to that point where it's going to be just us, right? And we picked up pickleball together. And for us, we started playing everywhere we went, whether it's the Florida Keys, the west coast of Florida. we'd play pickleball. And for us,
Except the one place you couldn't play was Miami, probably.
we couldn't find a court.
I know.
We couldn't find a court.
Yeah.
And then through some great relationships that we have built in the community, obviously some strong relationship with Lily, we started to find courts available. And we just said, we came up with a chat amongst our friends, which became an app with over 75 people on it. And we said, this is what we're playing. All you have to pay is your court fees. You don't have to pay for anything. We're not charging anything for our quasi-league.
So, right, that's what I was saying. So it's not like a league or membership thing. It's just kind of putting the word out there.
Correct. Our goal is to eventually do tournaments. We're having our first one this month. But tournaments where there's a purpose, right? Whether we give back to a foundation, where we give back to scholarship funds. At the same time, we are bringing friends and family and people we don't know together. It's a great way to communicate, to network, to stay in touch while having fun doing it.
Well, it's very interesting because I think one of the things about pickleball is you described everything that pickleball is all about, which is community, family. We actually do things for charity. And that's what your organization is doing for the President's Day weekend tournament, is that they're going to benefit at Miami-Dade College Kendall campus. It's going to benefit the Scholarship Foundation, the Scholarship Fund. So you've described all the things. And one of the things I think that you haven't done, and I told Lori about this,
Yes.
I was in Destination Pickleball. I was in the Turks and Caicos last week, and I did a clinic with Dave Weinbach. Unbelievable pro player, medalist, 180 gold medals, just won nationals, just has won the U.S. Open I don't know how many times. And so that's the big thing. That's what we should be doing in Miami. We have the infrastructure. We have all of
Absolutely.
the pieces to the puzzle. I have to go to the Turks and Caicos. Beautiful, had a great time, stayed at the beaches, wonderful, stayed a couple more days. But we can be doing that here. And so we really need to focus on getting more courts in this part.
I totally agree. And I think Lily's done a phenomenal job of getting in front of commissioners
Absolutely.
and mayors and folks that have decision-making possibilities or power to help
Yes.
us open it up. We should be a destination for stuff like this, right? We are a
No
destination.
question.
South Beach has been a destination for many things. Some we may agree with, some we may not, but it's been a destination. As been
Right.
Coconut Grove, as been Coral Gables.
Right.
And then if you look at sporting events like All-Star games and Super Bowls and anything, NBA championships, we've always been a destination for everything. It's in South Florida. It's sunny year round.
Yeah.
We don't get snow. We don't get snowed in.
Well, it's like I was saying, and Lily and I have discussed this before. You go up to Broward County and there's like 25 courts at a park.
Yeah, absolutely.
We don't have that. Or we're fighting because just to have 4 courts.
Well, there's only
It's
four
ridiculous.
in our public park system. There's only Miami-Dade County. There's only 4 lit courts
Right.
in Miami-Dade County, dedicated pickleball courts. That's it. In our entire county, with over 3 million people, there are private courts that people can
Right,
access,
right.
and they pay for that. But we need to share this with our children, with our families, the people that really cannot afford to pay out of pocket to get that. So with that being said, I mean, the wonderful thing about Miami-Dade College Kendall campus is that it's free for the students. It's free for the
Absolutely.
staff.
Yes.
So they're having access and being introduced to the sport that is so healthy, that is intergenerational, that parents and children can play. And it's free for them. So yeah, we need a lot more courts in our public our public arena. But the wonderful thing that has happened that I just found out yesterday is that Commissioner Daniela Cohen-Higgins from District 8 just put forth a resolution to the Mayor Daniela Cava to look at a feasibility study to build a complex, a dedicated pickleball complex in Miami-Dade County in District 8 in her district, which is absolutely phenomenal. That is the first step. They had a feasibility study to build courts in the public system, but now we're finally looking at a dedicated facility for pickleball. We don't know if that means 6 courts. We don't know if that means 8 courts or 24 courts. The reality is, in order for us to attract and have a true economic impact in our community, we need to have minimum of 24 courts, clustered, lit, that can benefit the community, but also bring in the kind of economic impact that Naples sees, that Pictona
Exactly.
Hill sees up in Daytona. nationals, Indian Wells sees. So this is a good start.
People can come here and have the tournaments here.
Absolutely. And I think there's one stigma we need to maybe get away from. Pickleball isn't for the older folks. Let's talk about one of the top players in the world. Women's is a 15-year-old girl.
Correct. 16 now.
She's 16. She just got her car. I saw that online. So it's so funny because my daughter, as I mentioned, is an athlete. She's picked up pickleball and she plays with us on Wednesday nights. It's her only night off and she decides to play pickleball. She's gotten her circle of friends now to play with us.
That's wonderful.
My son, on his off days in college, are playing pickleball. So I think that this is now something we're going to see generational, right? It's going to start at the teen level, and then we will continue to play late into our age, which is great, similar to a game like golf.
Right.
But what I'm also starting to hear is I spoke to an athletic director of a school. I won't mention his name. It's going to come to schools now. It's going to be a sport in schools.
That's correct.
Because it's going to be a sport in schools, you have to convert courts to have the ability for high schools to play at. And as this continues to rise, I'm sure we'll see it in the Olympics.
Yeah.
We've already seen it at the major league level, right? There's professional sports, professional athletes.
Correct.
Financially are investing in this platform.
Yes.
I think we need to be early adopters in Miami-Dade County because with that, we will set the tone for other large counties across the country.
Well, I think that's important too. I mean, Miami-Dade County is late to the game. We know that. Miami-Dade County Parks, Miami-Dade County, City of Miami, all of these, they're late to the game in general. However, they can be early and they can be trendsetters if we can get this into schools, into the younger generations, because there's not really a huge push across the country right now that I could say that comes to mind that this is happening. So if we can do this and we can do this big, gosh, we're given such a wonderful tool for families and kids to get off their phones.
That's what's nice.
That's such a great point. It's getting off the phones.
Yes.
It's getting off the phones. For us, I mean, I mentioned this. I see my wife and I are less on our phones, and we're talking more about the game or something coming up. Or we have so-and-so, we're meeting with so-and-so couple tonight. We're interacting. It's great for couples who've been together for a long time, finding other things to do to keep that competitive in your marriage going and all that fun stuff. We love it. We talk about it before we get there. We talk about it during the game. And then we talk about it after we left there.
Oh, my.
So just on another note, I started playing pickleball because I became an empty nester. And my husband and I were like, let's go do something together, both kind of competitive. We both went out there, started playing. So now he got a knee replacement, so he can't play for a while. But it is the best. Every day I go play, he's like, "Did they ask about me? Is so and so still there?"
I bet you he's gonna find a way to recover faster now.
Yes,
just to get out there.
Just to get out there.
Well,
exactly.
Especially if you're going to go to Costa Rica
Right.
for that destination
For that
pickleball
day.
trip, for Dave Weinbach's trip.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But as you were saying, Dave Weinbach, how great would it be if he came here and we did clinics here?
Oh, he's
and
ready to
tournaments and different things like that, which brings me to the tournament that you're having. So tell us a little bit about it and what that entails.
So we wanted to kick off our venture with a tournament, right? As to kind of get understand and get this community together, find out who's really into it, and from there, how do we parlay into leagues or opening up a facility and whatnot. I mean, we've got the avenue to do many different things, and we've got now great partners or advocates for us, so we're excited about that. This tournament for us was like, let's start something. Miami-Dade College, I happen to sit on their board, and they're a great institution. I love what President Pumariega is doing there. She's just a phenomenal leader, and she's always about community, the kids, education, and bringing people together, right? It's always her message in every meeting we sit in. So when I was talking to my business partners and I said, hey, let's do our first tournament, but I'd like to do it at Miami-Dade just to kind of give back to a cause I'm involved in, right?
Right.
And they've got great courts.
Mm-hmm.
They're pickleball only courts. And we decided to do it. Listen, it's President's Day weekend. I think that's probably the one challenge that we saw, because a lot of people are saying, I'd love to be there, but we're out of town, or we're traveling, or that's a tough weekend, or there's many other local events going on. So, but we're at 50 right now. We're hoping to get some. It is, and it's our first, right? And we've had good support systems, and we're excited. So February 18th is when we'll have our tournament at Miami-Dade College.
I will be there. Everyone from SA or Riviera or all the other places you play, you have to come as well.
That's right.
And we are going, so our registration is still available. It'll close probably Monday, so it gives us a week to kind of prepare and create the brackets, whatnot. But our registration is still open. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got some sponsors that donated their time, and they're going to donate raffles. So Sergio's food truck, Sergio's restaurants and cafeteria will be there with their food truck. They donated that, so they're going to be selling food and whatnot. Midway Sporting Goods. If you ever play sports in Miami, Midway Sporting Goods is a legacy mom and pop sports store. You know, they used to be in Mall of the Americas. And as a kid, I used to go there to buy my baseball gear. So a young man by the name of Mikey Tozar, his father is a Major League Baseball coach, says, hey, I'm starting to get into pickleball, and I play with my friends, and my sports store only offers 2 things around pickleball, but I really want to create more of a pickleball retail environment. So I like to be part of what you're doing, and I'll raffle something off. That's one thing, Lily, that I've noticed. You go to certain sporting goods stores, big brand chains, and you can't find stuff in Miami. But as soon as you cross the county line into other counties,
all over,
the stores have ginormous shelves around pickleball. All over. 5 friends that have gone over the last month drove north to a large retail chain, which we have in Miami, to buy pickleball stuff because they couldn't get it in Miami.
And you are correct in that. One of the things that is really frustrating, I think, for people is that they can't have access to these things. It's a result of not having the courts. The information I got from USAPA, our governing organization, when I was putting together the feasibility response to the county, was today we would have 15,000 people on day 1 picking up a paddle if we had the courts. Right now, I feel the calls, the emails from everyone desperate. And people come in. I mean, one of the things that Miami Beach is having, City of Miami Beach issues are having, is the courts are gorgeous, beautiful, but they're full. There's 60 people for 6 courts. And the reason why is because people are coming in, flying in, coming in, going on a cruise. On Thursday, they whenever they fly in a couple days early, they bring in their paddles, they play. And we're interviewing all of these tourists, basically what they're doing, where they're from, and why they're playing pickleball and not golf or any other sport. So the frustration is, they can't find the equipment. And we have, reality is, we have local businesses. Pickleball Club of Miami is one of them, but we have Rockney, the sponsor here of the show. We have Dink Paddle. We have the Rise Company. We have local businesses that want to get into pickleball and want to get into it big, and they are in pickleball. But the challenge is they've got to go elsewhere outside of Miami-Dade County to sell things.
Of course.
So that's why we partnered with Midway Sports. He's a young, innovative owner who understands the sports landscape. He's got a network of pickleball players as well. Around his age demographic, they're all in their 20s and early 30s. And he said, look, I want to get into this market. I want to be able to offer it. I'm in a great location between South Miami and Coral Gables. So he's going to come out and sponsor. But he's trying to get also some pickleball vendors. So we've got Midway Sports, we've got Sergio's, Miami-Dade College, obviously, and we're excited to do this.
It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to play
so much fun.
It is. I think we're just bringing awareness, right?
Yeah,
we're bringing awareness.
That's what we need to do. We need to have more of these tournaments and have these. Everyone wants to play. It's crazy.
And in reality is we really need clusters of more courts.
Absolutely.
So wonderful, and Miami-Dade College has 4 courts, but to run a tournament, we need a lot more courts and to run it efficiently, because we all know playing tournaments that it could really be delayed if this whole process can take a long time when you're playing a tournament, which is not fun.
No.
So we really need to focus on clusters of 24 courts, lit, minimum 12, minimum for a small tournament. But we're working on it.
We've got the space. We just got to get the right folks to help us push it through, right? Push the agenda through and get us those courts. I think, and it's an old cliche, right? But if you build it, they will come. And I think if there's enough pickleball interest in Miami-Dade County, obviously huge advocates, to get this going, that if someone decides, hey, let's build it, let's create this, or let's add it to our public infrastructure,
that's right,
people will go.
Yeah.
It's funny. We went to a town hall meeting the other day for Palmetto Bay.
Palmetto Bay.
Trying to convert blended lines at a basketball court that needs new surfacing and everything to redo the courts. All we want to do is stripe them. That's all we want to do. Just stripe them and have it blended. Basketball players can still play, but some people will come out and fight it.
Well, that's true. There was that resolution put forth by one of the council members that basically wanted the managers
Right.
stop striping those courts. And the reality is, yes, there is pickleball courts in the master plan in Palmetto Bay, but that's going to take a few years.
That's the
so
thing.
we need a stopgap. And painting lines is such an easy, inexpensive way of doing it. So we had a real big turnout. We called the troops in, and a lot of Palmetto Bay members came in and said, look what this has done for our lives. Look what it's done for our communities. You know, we will share. We will not take anything away from basketball or tennis, but allow us to share underutilized.
Just a piece.
Yeah.
You just want a piece.
Exactly. And what's really nice when we went to this town hall meeting, like Lily was saying, there were like maybe 15 of us, people coming from Miami Beach, like
Right.
Zoran, and talking about the benefits of how it's changed his life.
So when I look at sports in general, I looked at some sports have an age demographic, right? You can only play that sport probably to a certain age before
Correct.
your body can't react
true.
anymore, right? I'm a former softball player, I played baseball, transitioned to softball, played flag football, but my body doesn't react that way. And as my wife will remind me, you're always getting hurt, right? So, but I think that this is a game or sport that you can play from a early age. I played a gentleman yesterday who was in his 80s.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
Right? And he was still very competitive and he was still moving.
Yes.
Yes.
So I think there's a longevity in this sport.
That's correct.
So that means that the economic impact is longer,
Exactly.
right? Because we're playing longer.
Absolutely.
And now versus maybe my child going to play one sport, now there's 4 of us going to play that a sport,
That's
right?
correct.
There's more investment into it.
And when the kids
I
learn
bought
to
4 paddles, trust me. There's an investment to it.
when the kids learn to play, or anyone learns to play, you can pick up a paddle and in an hour you'll learn how to play. Maybe you're not great, but everyone can do it and still have a good time.
I say, for those who ask me, so how do you play pickleball or how did you get into it? I said, look, if you've ever played ping pong in your life, you're a quarter of the way there.
Yeah.
If you picked up a tennis racket in your life, you're another quarter of the way
Yes,
there. If
yes.
you got some hand-eye coordination, you're another quarter of the way there. You can be a pickleball decent player at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you
Yes.
just not continue to understand the rules. My wife likes to joke, I've never played a sport in my life and I'm really not athletic. Although if you look at her, she's ripped and she's fit and she looks the criteria, right?
Right.
But this is something that she's picked up with a passion and
Right.
goes on, plays on her own and
so
plays,
much fun.
finds people to play with and she's
how it
loved
go-
it.
Yeah.
And it's allowed us to really do something. She says I'm ultra competitive and sometimes I like maybe I get too overly competitive, but it's a message to me saying that we can all do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Doesn't necessarily mean that you don't fit the bill or you are not athletic
Right,
correct.
or you're too old or too young.
Not at
Everybody
all.
can play pickleball. So if we
Absolutely.
open it up, we're going to have more people on a pickleball court, and with all due respect to every other sport, than you will have on a basketball court, on a softball field, on a flag football field.
Absolutely.
Because it opens to everybody.
It's open to everybody, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, I don't know if you saw the stat, but last year there were more pickleball players than golf players, there was 30 some odd million pickleball players that picked up a paddle last year. So this sport is not going anywhere. It's not a fad.
Exactly.
This is for the long haul. It will be an Olympic sport, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm going to try to do my part in bringing it to other countries as I travel the world. I'm going to be playing a pickleball tournament in Rota, Spain in June. So we've got to get this into our Olympics. And God, wouldn't it be beautiful to do it in the next Olympics?
Right.
So-
Amazing.
That'd be great. That's a great point, Lily.
That would be wonderful. Yeah, that's really. Anything else you want to share with us? Shout out, email.
Listen, for us personally at Pickleball Club of Miami, we're thankful for the opportunity. Lily, thank you for connecting us with Lori in this show. It allows us to talk about our platform, right? So it allows us to talk about our upcoming tournament, but also to help spread the word. I think that together, some businesses and some organizations try to compete. This is, for us, is not compete. This is us strength in numbers.
We're a family.
We're,
That's right.
we're a
like
family,
we
so
really
the
are.
strength in numbers. So Lily's got a great avenue and a great
Yes.
platform that she's created, and she's going to continue, and she's going to open up those doors for the folks that are coming behind her to continue either creating leagues and tournaments and facilities and whatnot. And I think together we'll build a very strong pickleball community
Absolutely.
in Miami-Dade County.
And I think that's so important, but I also think it's going to be to benefit our community. So yes, we are going to have businesses come along and obviously be stronger and more profitable, but we're also going to have our children, our families, and our infrastructure benefit from that. So it's to benefit our community as a whole in every dimension. I think that's what this brings.
Absolutely. Just to, I just want you to mention, you were talking about you're working on the underline, remember? You talked about that,
yes,
so tell us a
yes,
little bit
the
about
underline.
that.
I'm waiting anxiously to hear when they are going to be unveiling the results of how they begin to plan courts and pretty much all of the items that they're going to be placing in that 7.5 mile stretch. But yeah, we're waiting for that. Pickleball was the number one sport demand. It's out there. It's completely out there. So we're waiting to hear that. Today I'm on my way to Biscayne Park. They are dying to get and do something in their park system. I have a meeting with Doral this coming week as well. This has basically exploded from a standpoint of finally our municipalities, there's 34 in general, our municipalities are seeing the demand. They're hearing from people calling and saying, why don't we have this in our neighborhoods? We need quality of life. Get us out of our cars. Keep us in our neighborhoods. Allow our families to play together, our neighbors to play together. Right now, there is, in the city of Miami, there's special elections, February 27th. We're asking candidates to come to the kitchen, meet us at the kitchen. There's only one, in District 2 where I live, there's only one court on Oak Avenue in Coconut Grove. It is probably the worst court that you've ever seen in your life.
They're redoing that court?
There's a lot of politics that are going on. So we're asking these candidates, we're serious about getting us out of our cars. Don't make me get on I-95 and go elsewhere, or 836 on prime time and add to the headaches of people working. Mm-hmm. Keep me in my neighborhood. And we're asking these candidates to meet us at the kitchen. As you all know, who's a pickleball player, the kitchen is where we like to get to. Right. So meet us at our kitchen, and how are you going to make a change?
And I think that's the goal of should be the goal of any politician, right? It's community involvement, sense of community, building stuff around your community so that we can get out there and spend money within our community, right? Helping small business.
And we're bringing money into the community by, even if they pay $5, $10, the tournaments, everything.
But that turns into buying more sodas or buying more waters or buying more clothes or buying, trust me. I see my bill going up on pickleball related items. Amazon has shifted in my house a little bit now.
Well, it's funny because I always say it's all pickleball related, but I used to own a handbag business. I was very big into handbags, Italian, very big into shoes, and my entire wardrobe is changed completely. It's gone from everything is pickleball. I have more paddles we can possibly imagine. I can't let go of a paddle. Even though I don't use it, I cannot let it go. It's like, it's mine. It's my paddle. And so it's a little over the top, I know, but my husband sits there and looks at me and said, wow. And I said, well, it's cheaper than what I used to. So
Listen, I'm not arguing with my wife. She has a passion for fashion, has done styling for many years in her past career, and has found this within the pickleball as well.
Yeah.
She's constantly shopping and having great outfits, and everybody's loving it out there. Where did you get that? Again, there's money moving on this whole pickleball mentality. We just have to find a way to continue to nurture it and bring it closer to home so that we don't have to drive anywhere. Exactly. And that is the goal for all of us.
Right. Yeah. I totally agree.
So we're excited about our first tournament. We're excited to continue supporting Lily and vice versa in any upcoming tournaments anyone has. And from there, we'll hopefully build some leagues and maybe some indoor facilities, which is down the road. And I think lastly, we are excited about a potential event we'll have this year, which is a celebrity pickleball tournament. We're in discussions already.
I'm all in on that.
I'm all in on that too. So please let us know.
We've had some discussions already. There's a lot of excitement around it. We'll try to find the right time to do it. But I can tell you, they all want to kind of let their hair down and play pickleball at the same time for a cause, right? We'll do it for a cause.
For a cause,
that would
definitely.
be so much fun. So I'm there. I don't have to play, although I want to play. But
I'm playing. I'm playing.
Lori's like playing. She's playing in the Chapman one this weekend.
Yes.
And I'm there, and I'm like, okay, I want to play, but I got to run this thing.
Well, so that's what's going on with me on February 18th. My wife and I want to play, and she's like, I can play. I'm like, no, none of us can play.
Yeah.
We have to work.
You have to work.
But it's exciting. Well, fun. Listen, we're excited about it. And it's our first one. I'm sure we'll learn from this one.
Yeah, for sure.
Let our viewers know how they can find you. to go on the website?
So we have an Instagram page. It's called Pickleball Club of Miami.
Okay.
Most of it is in there. You can register. Or if you follow
collect.
Lily, she's posted it for us. We'll
okay.
post it. And if any
post
viewers
it.
want to send a message to the media room, we'll get the information back to them. You know?
Great.
And I'll change my link in bio to include your page because right now I have the Chapman one, but we're sold out. People
Yes.
have been donating, so I'll change my link in bio to include the pickleball.
Thank you so
there.
much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, thank
Lori,
you so
thank you for your
much.
time.
Thank you for being here today. Thank you for watching us, and have